I'm going to share with you again today about creating the $3 million from Neville Goddard's special VIP meetings that he held that my grandfather went to. Okay, my grandfather was a VIP member at Neville Goddard's secret meetings in the back of the Wilshire Ebell Theater in Los Angeles. Okay, so my grandfather was attending these. But first, my grandfather went through a whole phase of trying to disprove Neville Goddard, which he couldn't do with the ladder exercise, and he ended up finding out that the law of assumption is real, just like the law of gravity. And all you have to do is imagine it in your mind, fall asleep with it, and you'll get anything that you want in your life. Okay, and at these special meetings, my grandfather went through a series of training exercises where my grandfather left his body. He took his skin off like it was clothing in a deep meditation with special mantras. And he actually went out of his body, and he said that he told me specifically that when he exited his body, he went inside of a clock that was in the room, up in the clock, and he became the clock, and then he was able to look outside into the room and realize that everything was him. And then he saw the entire city of Los Angeles, and he noticed that the town of Los Angeles was him. He connected the that's when you have that moment, that's what they call it in Buddhism. That's what they call it. That's what they call it when you actually can when you get that moment of understanding what consciousness is, what this illusion is. Well, he had that in that moment, and he realized that Los Angeles was him. The world was him, just like the dream that we go into at night when we're creating these different scenes in our dream state. And we think when we're inside of our dream, we're thinking that all these people and all these places that we're going are separate from us. We're driving cars, we're on trains, we're in planes, we're in helicopters, we're traveling, we're meeting new people. We see people that we are familiar with in our dreams at night. But if you think about it, those people aren't separate, just like they're not separate in this world. That is a world that's created by your mind. So he had this awakening. But there was more techniques that were taught there, and Neville Goddard specifically taught a technique where he taught everyone how to make $3 million within a certain amount of time. And it was creating a vivid scene of Neville Goddard said you find two people that you're very familiar with. Either it's a family member or a friend, relative, someone, two people that you know their characteristics, you know their body language, you know their facial features very well, you know their voices, you can hear their voices, you know what they smell like, you know what they look like, you everything. So you can you create a vivid scene with these people in your imaginary clip before you go to sleep at night. So you create these two people that are congratulating you on your accomplishment, on your creating your 3 million dreams and the $3 million, and they're just blown away with emotion, and it's a huge emotional scene, and you're surrounded by the things or the house that you're living in following the money coming to you. So you create the entire scene, and you do this for a certain amount of nights, and it will come to you. Neville Goddard taught that $3 million could be created by visualizing a scene of two very familiar people congratulating you and coming and giving you a hug, and you focus on their face, their facial features, and the way their sound is, and you just get really, really clear what you hear, what you smell, what you see, what you feel, because you're grabbing them, you're hugging them, and you're crying in the scene. You're getting so emotional in the scene that it creates the reality. You impress the subconscious mind, and you're actually going to the future, and you're making the future now, activating the positron, and that will ultimately bring it into your life. And that's what Neville Goddard was teaching, and being the observer of your life and changing people around you by understanding that how you look at somebody can change that person. So if there's people out there that aren't doing the right things, start looking at them with different eyes. Look at them as if they are doing the great things in their lives, that they are great people, and it will change them. He said that if you're going to create something very big, I know that I got some comments and questions about this. If you're going to create something really, really big, be careful what you create, because what you wish you're going to get, and what you create you're going to get. Create something so big. Like if you create $1 billion, like you want to make $1 billion, you are going to completely change. You don't know the person that you're going to become is not the person that you are right now. And he just went over this and he explained it, that you're going to drastically change. So make sure whatever it is, whatever big thing you're creating, make sure that you absolutely want it and imagine in your mind, you know, what it's going to take for you to get that and who the person you are, because you may lose relationships. You may lose a lot of things are going to change in your mind. So to think it through before you actually go through with something really, really big, because it's going to change you and you might go through hell to get it. Just like my grandfather said,